Our first question comes from North Little Rock Wildcat 1, who wants to know, Mike, did we actually get outbid by Ole Miss? You know, I'm not sure we'll ever know about that. Arkansas may have gotten outbid. That's one theory for Lane Kiffin, or Kiffin may have wanted Ole Miss more and just said, I'm going there. Or Hunter Yurachek quickly decided that Kiffin was too lukewarm for him and backed off, or Kiffin's agent trying to start a bidding war might have ticked Hunter Yurachek off. You can take your pick. I don't know, again, if we'll ever know what really happened there. Kevin wants to know, can we get to the truth about the coaching hire debacle? Names of the people who have screwed this up, and will Hunter decide to leave because of the meddling? You know, I can only pass along with what I've been told, but I've been told that was a rumor during the job search. It was never true. But this really boiled down to, take your pick on that previous answer, but in the bottom line is Sam Pittman was liked by Hunter Yurachek because he expressed the feeling and the emotion that he really wanted that job and the others didn't. The bottom line is, I don't think that Hunter Yurachek was forced to hire Sam Pittman. I don't think he was blocked from hiring somebody else. I think it came back to Yurachek believing that Sam Pittman had the toughness to get this team back to being the way he is, the way he wants, and he had the ability to solve the O-line problem was huge, and that's why he was hired. But if you don't want to believe that, that's fine with me, because there's a lot of rumors out there. Dr. Starks asks, out of options A through Z, where do you think Pittman ranked? Got to go back to what Hunter Yurachek said yesterday at his press conference. He said he started off with 14, 15 candidates, something like that, quickly got it down to 3 or 4, and that they were equal in his mind in terms of what they brought to the table in terms of winning games. So how much Pittman wanted the job in his, this is what he said now, was the difference maker. And you got to get back to this idea that Arkansas is a tough sell right now. And a lot of the fans got mad at me when I said on Twitter that there were people that called this a garbage job. They did. I talked to them. That's not me saying that. That was kind of what was out there when you get outside of Arkansas in terms of your ability to attract coaches that they may want. So it was hard to find somebody that would have the enthusiasm that Pittman did. And that's what they're saying. Again, this is one of those believe what you want to believe things. Hogsar1 wants to know, can Hunter Yurachek survive this? You know, it's in Sam Pittman's hands right now. If he turns the program around, then Hunter Yurachek is going to look like a genius. If we get more of the same next fall, yeah, it could go bad for Hunter Yurachek. Swine American says, some pundit, it may have been you, tweeted that Matt Campbell and Mike Leach wanted too much money. Does that mean the Razorback Foundation, U of A, does not have the money to meet their salary demands, or does it mean that Hunter Yurachek wouldn't pay it? Well, again, I was told that they did have the money to hire either, say, a Mike Leach or Campbell, who would have been more expensive. They quickly found out that Campbell wasn't interested. Now, I heard the Leach interview just didn't go well. Look, he's a strange dude. I mean, I told people I thought he was a good hire, but you have to be on his wavelength to understand him. And if Hunter Yurachek wasn't, that, you know, there's a lot of people that are in that category. So again, I was told it wasn't the money that hurt. It was that Pittman wanted the job more than the others, and Hunter Yurachek felt like he was qualified and could turn this around. And it didn't hurt that he was the least expensive option. Okay, Hog Jeans asks, Mike, what do you think our offensive and defensive philosophies will be? Everybody wanted to know the answer to that, and Pittman addressed it in his press conference. So here we go. He said he likes the RPO game, which is similar to what they're doing now. Doesn't mind playing some bully ball, which is what Brett Bielema tried to do, but he doesn't think that they will run the offense that Bielema ran here. Now, at least back when Pittman was the O-line coach. Pittman also pretty much said, without saying it, that Arkansas's current defense was good at one time, but it's considered dated in the coaching profession. And he likes something more like what Alabama and Georgia use right now. It's kind of a flexible 3 to 5 man front with lots of pre-snap shifting and preventing double teams. So that probably is good news to a lot of Razorback fans, that they're not going to run the defense that John Chavis ran, but they are going to run an offense similar to what Chad Morris was running. Big Daddy wants to know, is Sam the best man for the job or the only man that wanted the job? Well, we're kind of covering old ground here, but I will emphasize again, I was told that Hunter Yurachek did have other options, but Pittman was the only candidate that was kind of on fire to get this job. And I think you saw that when he broke down in tears in front of the fans on Monday, admitting he was too emotional at that point to continue because he'd wanted this job so badly. And look, that's either going to be a defining moment 2 or 3 years from now, or people are going to look back on it and go, what was that all about? But I've never seen a coach do that before. I saw Houston Nutt cry one time after a win, but I've never seen a coach kind of get weepy about the fact that I wanted this job so much and I can't continue. I got to pause for a moment. And those people out there at that press conference, these aren't your average fans. These are people that are committed. They're not mad. They just want a coach that wants to be here, and they believe if you want to be here and Hunter Yurachek picked you, you're going to be a winner. And they got up and gave him a standing ovation. It was a dramatic moment for sure. Wizard of Hog says, I'm actually excited about the hire. But putting on your devil's advocate hat, what is your largest concern about this hire? Why might it not work, in your opinion, based on observing Pittman from his earlier time here? Well, the only thing that concerns me from Pittman's earlier time here is that he wasn't here as the head coach, so you don't know what he can do as a head coach. I think he can recruit. I think he can motivate players, make this team tougher. I think he can hire a good staff. What I don't know is about those game management decisions that head coaches have to make. You know, those decisions whether to go for it in the fourth quarter and you're down, 7 points, and you got 8 minutes to go, so you might get the ball back and have another chance, but you got to decide you're just on your own side of the 50-yard line, 4th and 4, and you decide to go for it or no, you're going to punt, or decisions to try a trick play or not. These are things that end up making a coach look like a genius or a dummy. And nobody knows, in my opinion, how a coach is going to do that, handle that situation until we see him do it. So you're going to have to wait on that, and that's my concern, and that's what I don't know about right now. Greeny asks, how might Lonnie and Traylor fit in? Apparently they won't. Traylor is the new head coach at UT San Antonio, and it's now been confirmed that Lonnie is going with Traylor as offensive coordinator. There's speculation that Stephen Caldwell, the D-ends coach, and Mark Smith, who coaches the cornerbacks, they're going to stay, but there's nothing official on that right now. I call that brother. A says a lot of smoke about, these names are wacky, says a lot of smoke about Barry Odom as defensive coordinator. Anything serious about that? Nothing official as we do this show. The only confirmed hire as of Tuesday afternoon was Missouri offensive line coach Brad Davis, who will coach the O-line at Arkansas, and he's already out recruiting. Some say Pittman seems likely to hire Georgia defensive line coach Trey Scott because he's from across at Arkansas and might want to come back. So we'll see on that. MTAD16 wants to know, Mike, will Sam Pittman be successful in recruiting the 2019 class and keeping most of them from entering the transfer portal? Well, there was only one kid from the 2019 class that was in the portal that Arkansas wanted to stay here, and that was Tevin Bush, and good news, he is withdrawn from the portal. And I don't know of any others from that 2019 class who would have been a freshman this last year that have entered the portal or have indicated they will. So it's so far so good on that. Redleg says, I'd like to know how Sam Pittman feels about what Bielema said about him after he left for Georgia. Bielema stated that he thought Pittman was great, but that Bielema had helped Pittman's career a lot because Pittman wasn't some O-line guru until they got things going at Arkansas. Well, it was cheesy. I remember thinking that at the time. What is he doing? But that's what Brett Bielema did a lot. He popped off in press conferences. Now, nobody asked Pittman about this yesterday. He probably wouldn't have answered it anyway. But, you get the guy. Pittman's been here a while. There are going to be some of us that get him to talk about that sooner or later, and we'll probably know. But here's the bottom line. Pittman got the last laugh because Bielema, who popped off, got fired, and Pittman now has his old job. So that's really all we really need to say about that. Hogchick 2001 asks, is he going to recruit Jacoby Criswell out of Morrilton? Yes, he arrived in Morrilton on Tuesday to visit with Criswell. Also visited with Robert Scott, who's a big old lineman out of Conway, committed to Ole Miss. Now, last night, he also visited with the in-state players currently committed. So those guys plus Criswell and Scott are the in-state players that Pittman wants out of this 2020 class, and the goal, I think, is to go 4-0, 5-0, whatever it is, instead of 3-2 or something like that. Dropkick wants to know, when will we know how much we're paying him? Rumors that he's taking less to spend more on his staff. It's a little bit confusing on that. Sam Pittman is getting less, $3 million a year, and the rest of the staff apparently is going to get a total of $5 million. So that'd be $8 million for the total staff. Now, if they had hired any of the other candidates, might have cost them around $4 to $5 million. So that would have been around $9 to $10 million, and that was what we were told they were willing to spend on the whole staff, which would be an upgrade over what they were spending on the previous staff. So the head coach is going to make less, and the money for the rest of the staff is about the same as what we were told they were willing to allocate if they'd had to pay $5 million for the head coach. So the bottom line is they're saving anywhere from $1 to $2 million hiring Pittman, but they've got some extra money now in there. Say if you want a certain coordinator, both coordinators, or there's assistants out there that you got to pay more to get for, there's $1 to $2 million extra in there if Sam Pittman needs it. Cowhog32 says, love the hire, but with him being the head coach now, how much time can he actually put in recruiting? Isn't that mostly done by assistants? Okay, as a head coach, Pittman's going to be limited in the number of visits he can make. That's just one in-home visit per recruit. Now, the other assistants get 7. Now, Pittman said that when he was an assistant coach, he's using all 7 of those visits, and his philosophy on getting players was you get so close to them that at some point in the process, even if it goes to signing day, they can't say no to you. So now he said, what I have to do is convince my coaches who are out there with those 7 visits to use that same philosophy. And he said if he has to help them a little bit, teach them a little bit about recruiting, I think he's considered the top recruiter in America right now, then he's going to do that with his assistants. Okay, that's it for this week. I remind each of you that if you are not a member at hogville.net, that's the largest fan board in Arkansas with around 30,000 members, go there, sign up, get a username, and you can get your questions asked by posting them there. And I will see everybody next week when you ask Mike.